When we're talking about these things of mitigating climate change, and how do we kind of slow down the process of the adverse effects of climate change, what are the kinds of things that buildings can do? How can the buildings help to reduce carbon footprints?
Okay, that's an interesting question. So, when we say that buildings they can really help to reduce the climate change impacts and mitigate climate change and reduce carbon footprints, we need to look at the situation from the baseline perspective. Like, for instance, if conventional buildings are developed by developers, so compared to that, how sustainable buildings could lead to various benefits, and how it can lead to mitigating the climate change impacts. So it's all about the strategies that are integrated into the design, operation, and construction of buildings. So if we talk about the various strategies, then there are at different stages of building life cycle, there are different strategies. There are active strategies and passive strategies. Active strategies are, for example, when you make use of energy efficient technologies and appliances that go into these buildings, such as, let's say, energy efficient cooling, uh, lighting, and various other active measures. So if you are taking energy efficiency related measures, those again are categorized into the active set of measures. So when you make use of, it's all about the choices. When you select these appliances, it leads to reduction of GHG emissions. It leads to reduced energy consumption for the same level of output that you require. Incorporating renewable energy technologies, renewable energy systems with battery backup can really, help you reduce your reliance on fossil fuel based electricity or fossil fuel based energy sources. Then there are passive design strategies, such as using low embodied energy materials, you selecting those building envelope materials that lead to an energy efficient, let's say, building envelope design. We can elaborate again more on that later. So optimizing the site selection, the orientation of building, reducing, let's say, waste, integrating all the waste management practices, looking at water conservation measures, doing rainwater harvesting, and so on. So all these different measures, they can really help to mitigate climate change.
Absolutely. I think what you're saying is very much on point. I think there are not only energy, but other resources like water that we need to also reuse. Look at how many cycles we can have of the same volume of water going through plants, gardening, flushing, right? And also, when you're talking about things like energy, there's always two ways to look at it. One is from the consumer's point of view, right? So it's not always the building that's going to be better, and so everything gets solved. There's also the aspect of, although the building is running well, if the lifestyles of the people living in those buildings doesn't change, then that's another thing that the building isn't going to work unless you make it work. So there's also some of that one needs to kind of keep in mind and think about, of how who have been living in a green building, are they really aligning their lives with that as well? So that's an important question too, so that you and the building work together. As an inhabitant, you're working with the building to make this positive change and reduce the impact of climate change. Okay. Another thing I want to add there is a certain element of adaptability. As a building is going to move into the future, and when temperatures start getting worse, you also need to be thinking about solutions in the future that need to come and fit into your building, right? So for example, if you're going to have to expand your HVAC system in another 10 years, then your building needs to have those kinds of provisions for you to upgrade HVAC systems, or plan for certain methods to integrate certain systems into your building at a later stage. So one of those aspects of adaptability comes in here when you're looking to mitigate climate change impact and plan for the future, make a resilient building for the future.